I have 4 daughters, and I know you have 2. Do you ever look back at what you're doing politically right now and think, what am I doing? These are things I'm doing that are abstract, and look at the things concretely that I'm missing personally at home.
I think about it each and every day, and it's the single hardest thing about politics. The sacrifices with respect to family are significant, and they're borne more heavily by my wife than by me. But I am constantly sort of yearning to spend more time with the girls, and it's something that I think if you don't feel that kind of conflict in your heart, then you've probably fallen into the dark side of politics.
Do your daughters ever look at you or think about this, or have you ever talked to them about it, about how they perceive you? Because there is the sort of public perception for all of us, I think you in particular, and then there's obviously what they have at home with Dad. But you write about this in your book, The Audacity of Hope. The first year and a half in office, you're working 12 to 16 hours a day. You took 7 days off. Yeah, sir, I did read your book, and I enjoyed it, by the way. I liked the first one, too. But you realize what's the difference from their perspective?
Well, I think they're a little young right now to really
My
have
4-year-old
a sense of
won't
what's
shut
going
up.
on. I think the fact that we've stayed in Chicago is tremendously helpful because it keeps them insulated from sort of the hothouse atmosphere of Washington. And so far, at least, they are just wonderful, happy 8- and 5-year-old kids. And my hope is that we can continue to provide them that kind of shelter from some of the whirlwind that my life's become.
Yeah, I suspect that's true. In the last 8 days, you were on Russert, Tim Russert's Meet the Press. I think it was Sunday before last, and one of the biggest questions everybody just seems to be salivating about is whether or not you're going to run for president. You talked about if you're going to be president, anybody, I think abstractly, you should want to be a great president. Could you talk more about that? What makes a great president?
Well, I think it's when it's when you change the culture and in a way that gets Americans to think differently about who they are and what they believe in. I think Ronald Reagan gave a sense of optimism and hope to the country, and even though I didn't agree with him, I think he helped to lead a change in attitude as opposed to just getting a piece of legislation passed. I think John F. Kennedy did the same thing. Certainly, that was one of the essential characteristics of FDR. And the point I was making there was simply that being elected president in and of itself is obviously a great honor, but I think our objective of anybody who's in politics is actually to be useful and make a positive contribution to the country. And that, I think, has to be on the minds of anybody who is pursuing any public office, whether it's the presidency or the local school board.
Again, you talk about this in The Audacity of Hope. This is your latest.
Jack, I just want to let you know I just got the borders, so I think I'm going to have to cut off after this question.
No problem, and I appreciate the time. Again, in your book, The Audacity of Hope, you talk about the megalomania of some in Congress in that sort of life. Do you want to be president? I'm not saying you're going to run. You tell me, but do you want to be president?
Well, I think that's part of the question that everybody has to go through before they go through the rigors of a 2-year campaign that, by definition, is slightly crazy. But certainly, I wouldn't be in public life if I didn't want, in some way, to make a contribution and think that I had something to offer. For all of us, I think we constantly have to measure what is the best way to serve, and balance that with family and the hopes and dreams and aspirations
And that would include being president.
It's always a possibility.
Well, Senator, thank you so much for the time today, sir.
Jack, it was great to